Okay, Metamorphosis read through. Let's go. The family enters one at a time, black cloth lit. Figures appear in silhouette. Each one enters in the character he or she is going to play, and performs a small mime condensing the personality into a few seconds. Mother is first. That's Mrs. Sansa. Described as a sad face, leaves a pained heart and angst. Father next strolls boldly on in boots and costume of mid-European, lower middle class tradesman. Trousers in socks, braces, no jacket. Looks like Hindenburg, you have to research him. Then Greta, a student with violin. Then Gregor, who just walks on and smiles. An amiable, i.e. friendly, person. As each speaks, they form a line behind each other. On the last line, they take on the movement of an insect by moving their arms to a particular rhythm. As no front lighting is used, this has the effect of an insect's legs movement.
As Gregor Samsa awoke one morning from uneasy dreams,
he found himself transformed in his bed into a gigantic insect.
His numberless legs, which were pitifully thin compared to the rest of his bulk, waved helplessly before him.
Movement starts. Gregor is in front, suddenly the movement stops. Family dissolve the beetle image by moving away, leaving Gregor still moving as part of the insect image. Front lights come up revealing family.
What has happened to me?
That's all of you together?
he thought.
It was no dream.
He looked at the alarm clock ticking on the chest.
6:30 and the hands were quietly moving on.
Gregor,
Said a voice.
That gentle voice.
It was his mother's.
His mother's.
his mother's.
Lights snap up on the centre area downstage, revealing Gregor standing behind Greta. Scenes of pre-insect life. Each speak their own thoughts, which run contrapunctually, so almost at the same time, but for the moment just kind of do it after each other. Okay?
I'm Gregor Samsa. There's my sister Greta.
There's brother Gregor.
Isn't that nice that she waits up for me?
I always wait up for him.
Glass of milk on the table, then bed. Up again at 4 a.m. Yes, 4 a.m. to catch the 5 a.m. train.
He doesn't come home often.
Daily, what a life. What an exhausting job, and I picked it.
You work so hard.
I picked it. I'm a commercial traveller in the cloth trade. I have to work to keep them.
Lights snap up downstage and left, revealing mother and father, both frozen.
But he also makes things at home.
Who else can do it? Father's ill, so they rely on me totally.
He recently made a picture frame, and in it he put a picture cut out of an illustration magazine.
On my back it rests. Their fortune rests on my back like a great weight.
It shows a lady with a fur cap and fur stole sitting upright and holding out the spectator a huge fur muff into which the whole of the from and vanished.
So then there's an image of above. So they do this image of this woman with like this fur muff and this kind of fur shawl and things like this, and then they make the image. So lots of it is kind of just, someone will say something and then they'll become the image basically. Keep going.
The warehouse was better. One didn't have to worry about the travelling.
It was very good.
I feel sick.
It dissolves. A loud ticking is heard, which continues throughout the next scene. Gregor marches behind his family, who in time to all the ticking call out Gregor's meaning for them. Double time for Gregor, going about his work.
Gregor.
Cash.
Gregor.
Shoes.
Gregor.
Cigars.
Gregor.
Food.
Gregor.
Beer.
Gregor.
Clothes.
Okay, as Gregor comes to stop behind Greta, family mime actions of domestic life in time to ticking, resembling those automatic figures in waxworks. They repeat the same combinations of gestures, only when they speak do they freeze the movement.
Like Gregor?
Image actor as marionettes like puppets. Father smokes a cigar. So it's like this, guys. It's like they're kind of clockwork kind of things. Like they're caricatures of real people. What are we laughing about, guys? Oh, okay. So they're like puppets, basically. I didn't get the joke, sorry. Make sure I get it next time. It'll be funny, I'm sure. Only when they speak do they freeze the movement, and we've done it. Good. Gregor, thanks, you're up late.
I thought I'd wait up for you. What's the matter?
My back's aching. Must be carrying these samples all day.
Did you sell much?
Not as much as last week.
Oh, never mind. It'll be better tomorrow.
Perhaps.
Of course it will.
Listen,
What?
it's raining again. Hear it beating on the window gutter.
It's been raining for ages.
Oh God,
What is it?
I'm so exhausted.
Go to bed then.
Always tired, travelling day in, day out.
Image, the feet of the family race while they sit, faces reveal the agony of Gregor's life. They become the chorus for his statements.
On top of worrying about train connections, snatching odd meals, and if I arrive late at some small town, trudging the streets, looking for a hotel.
So that would be repeating the real thing. We keep going, Mrs. S.
I thought you preferred it at to the warehouse.
Not anymore, the man needs to sleep.
Well, go to bed then.
The other travellers have it easy. They're still at breakfast when I return with the morning orders. Sometimes it's dark out when I leave, and the mornings are so empty and bitterly cold. I think that's why I've got a stiff back.
Why don't you leave?
I will one day, rest assured. As soon as I've paid off my father's debt to him, I'll go right up to the chief himself and tell him what I think of him.
Oh, that would be fun. Imagine his face.
So we see an image of the father's image of the chief clerk.
It would knock him sideways if I did that. He's such a strange little man. He's got an irritating habit of sitting high at his desk and talking down to me, and I have to crane my neck because he's hard of hearing.
Is there much to pay off?
It should take another 5 years.
Oh, as long as that?
Then I'll cut myself loose.
God, and if you're lucky, it might be sooner.
And that's another thing. You're always making casual acquaintances.
Image of family going to meet and then parting, never quite succeeding in the act.
And before you've time to become friends, you're off again.
Moves his joints in time to ticking. First imitations.
Please,
This is the
don't
first.
Yeah.
This is the first
Yeah.
imitations of him becoming an insect. Guys, this is about a guy who literally goes to bed one night and wakes up as a beetle.
Sorry.
That's what I mean. So it is that odd. It is that weird. You know, he's like, oh yes, we work really hard. And he's working really hard, and his parents are like, come on, keep working harder. And he goes to bed one night, and you'll see, and the next morning he wake up, and he's a beetle. It's really, really weird. Okay, but it's really good fun because it means that people get to actually act like a beetle. Exactly, it's good fun. Yeah.
I realised I completely missed my line. I was just like, look at me.
It doesn't matter about that. Let's just keep going now. So it's Gregor. I don't know what's happening to me.
I don't know what's happening to me. All my joints feel stiff.
Perhaps you shouldn't go in tomorrow. Don't go in. I'll get a doctor for you in the morning.
No.
Why not?
It would look suspicious.
I've not had a day's illness in 5 years.
The chief clerk himself will come here with the insurance doctor and put it all down to laziness.
I mean, I feel quite well really, so they wouldn't be wrong, would they?
But you look so tired and plain.
That's the penalty for being a good salesman.
Oh, Gregor, you're so good to us.
You, go to bed, now.
And have a good night's sleep.
And I'll make you a lovely breakfast in the morning.
I could sleep forever.
Moves back to the cage. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Traditionally, it's staged with a cage upstage, like scaffolding, which the beetle can kind of move around on. But often we do it with like just a table. Moves back to the cage. Good night, Gretel. Collapses the cage, which is unlit. He is back. He's on his back, motionless. In harmony, they say.
Good
night,
Gregor.
Okay, black now. Yeah. Fast ticking starts. Day begins. A hard light snaps downstage. Everything works by the clock. Movements again are purely functional. Speech patterns are geared to movement and ticking. So rather than making sense of things, like you're really thinking about the word, it's like, good morning, let's go. It's kind of going along with the ticking and stuff. Like it's just the routine of his day. Cyclorama, which is like lit is in white. Cyclorama is what some discs have in the back. It's like a big bit of cloth. It's saying that should be lit in white. Family in 3 white spots. Gregor is black silhouette, feet up, arm moving in and out. There's an image, family at breakfast. Gregor is on his back, the still stiff insect before waking. The mime of family eating, looking up, wondering where Gregor is. In unison, linked as a chorus.
It's 6:30. Where's Gregor?
6:30? Oh dear, perhaps the alarm clock's not gone off.
Did you see it?
See it?
Set
Yeah.
it. Did you set it?
Said it? Yes, I said it in
Says it
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock?
I said it properly.
That ear-splitting noise should have woken him.
They move back on stools.
Gregor? Oh, Gregor. It's 7:15 already. Shouldn't you have been at work?
Yes, thank you, Mother. I'm getting up now.
The ticking stops suddenly. The silence accentuates the stillness. Their world of eating and normality stops. They move now in very slow motion, beginning to show anguish and worry. Families silently mouth their concern. They hold gestures and listening.
What's happened to me? Everything seems the same. It's still raining outside. Oh, my leg. What's wrong with my leg? Turn over and go back to sleep. It's a bad dream. I can't turn over. I can't turn.
Family turn on stools, complete circles rather than walking up to the area. The stools are metal with shiny tops.
Gregor?
Shut my eyes. I'm dreaming. Go away. It's nonsense. It must go away. Spot on my belly. Oh, they're itching. But I can't sleep on my back.
Family turn other way on stools, their faces return showing anxiety. Never has been this late before, etc. Expression of dismay, fear, wonderment.
Gregor?
I have to work. It's 7:15. Why didn't I hear the alarm? The next train goes at 7, and my samples are not even packed. And even if I caught the train, there'd be a row. I knew I was sick yesterday.
Family turn different directions on stools like computer wheels.
Gregor, aren't you feeling well? Are you needing something?
I'm just ready. Won't be a minute.
Open the door, Gregor. Please do.
Yes, soon.
Very loud knock on the door, the family rise. 3 loud knocks followed by the chief clerk, who makes a long entrance while the family speak, sharing the next speech. The chief clerk is this bastard from work, basically, who's coming to check why he's late already and stuff like that. Image, they repeat this speech once in panic, figure of 8 around stools. So basically, if you were doing this bit, you'd be saying it over and over again while going around the stools, basically.
Oh dear, that's bound to be somebody from the warehouse.
The porter would have reported this failure to turn up.
That porter was the boss's bootlicker. Spineless and stupid. It's sure to be him.
And again, do it again from there, oh dear.
Oh dear, that's bound to be somebody from the warehouse.
The porter would have reported his failure to turn up.
That porter was the boss's bootlicker. Spineless and stupid. It's sure to be him.
Keep going. No, miss, you doing it, Clark?
Oh, no, Miss Samsa. It's the chief
Clerk.
clerk.
Family all sit in shock.
Young Mr. Samsa, not been in this morning.
Chief Clerk doffs his imaginary hat. He walks along the line of the family to Mrs. S from stage left to right.
Ah, Mrs. Samsa. Good morning. Thought I'd drop around, see what the trouble is.
Silence as they turn to face Chief Clerk.
Snoop, Chief Clerk himself.
Chief Clerk wears steel-tipped tap shoes so he can tap the floor like an impatient clock. He taps the floor until Mrs. S says,
I'm terribly sorry, but
since there is pause there allows patience. Sorry, go on.
I'm terribly sorry, but our son's not feeling well. They don't quite know what's wrong. It's very unlike him. He's very, how do you say it?
Conscientious.
Conscientious, as you know. Thinks of nothing but his work.
Chief Clerk moves menacingly in from left, then turns slowly. The family shrink back on their chairs, freeze in attitudes of fear and oppression by authority represented by the Chief Clerk.
What a villain. It's impossible to be a couple of hours late without sending the Chief Clerk himself to investigate. Giving my family something fresh to worry about. They'll soon go away. Like those little pains I had, caused by awkward postures that soon disappeared when I woke up.
Starts rocking.
Mustn't hit my head. Mustn't lose consciousness now.
Okay, Helen, do you need to go?
So,
What page are we on, Helen? Now, actually.
oh, sorry.
We're on page 86.
Thank you.
Chief Clerk moves down stage left in front of round stool and now oppresses Mr. Samson, so like really gets up in his grill.
Gregor, the chief clerk's here.
He's worried.
Why are you not at work?
Chief Clerk is now stage left, family shrink in opposite position and freeze.
I know. I only want to get up quietly without disturbing anyone. Put my clothes on and have my breakfast.
Gregor, who's been on his back the whole time, now attempts to shift to his front.
Must push harder.
He flops over completely on his front. Family sit bolt upright after the crash.
Sounds like someone fell in the next room.
Mr. and Mrs. Sampson thread these speeches inside each other. Mr. Sampson walking up and down stage with Greta punctuating the odd Gregor, whilst downstage Mrs. Sampson attempts to smooth the chief clerk's fears. This is the first time the family actually move in his room area. Movements are steady, symmetrical, beating, harmonious patterns, not yet driven into confusion, more concerned. There's an image, ordered confusion as they walk to the cage. Chief clerk eats Gregor's breakfast. Mr. Sampson and Greta move to Gregor's area. A synonymous pattern emerges. They freeze on the point of impact on the end of Mr. Sampson's speech. A split-second pause. A picture frozen of concern.
Excuse me, Gregor, the chief clerk himself. The chief clerk himself.
Can you try and say Clark?
Sorry.
It's like just try it.
Gregor,
so you get to have
the
it.
chief clerk himself has come down to see you.
Gregor?
He's not really well, believe me.
Wants to know why you didn't go in today.
What else would make him miss the train?
We don't know what to say to him.
Gregor?
He thinks of nothing but his work.
Gregor?
Besides, he wants to talk to you privately.
Gregor?
It makes me almost cross the way he never goes out in the evenings.
Gregor?
So please, open the door.
Dancing and things like that.
He won't mind if your room's untidy.
He just sits reading or studying the railway timetables.
Please, Gregor, you'll get in trouble.
The only amusement he gets is doing
Fretwork. Do you know what fretwork is?
No.
I think it's like sewing and stuff.
Yeah, that would have been my guess.
Fretwork. Do you know he spent 3 evenings cutting out a lovely picture frame? He's very clever with his hands. I'm sure he's unwell. It's not like him.
I can't think of any other explanation, madam. And while I hope it's not serious, I must say that in business one must ignore slight indispositions.
Yes.
Work must go on.
Oh yes, I absolutely agree. Well, I hope it's not slight.
One movement reaction from family amplifying the statement.
I mean, not serious.
Breaks off, not knowing what to say.
Oh, I don't know.
Gregor, once and for all, will you let the chief clerk in?
Leave me in peace.
There is a shocked silence. Mr. Sampson moves away in a gesture of bewilderment, fear, puzzlement as the chief clerk comes to take his place at the door. The family listen frozen, intent.
Mr. Sansa, what is the matter with you? Why have you barricaded yourself in your room? Just answering yes and no all the time, causing your good parents a great deal of trouble, and neglecting your business duties in an incredible fashion. You amaze me. You really amaze me. I always thought you quiet and dependable, and now you seem bent to making a disgraceful exhibition of yourself. The chief did hint that a possible explanation for your disappearance was the funds that you were entrusted with.
Okay, so basically Chief Clerk is suggesting that Gregor has maybe been taking the funds from work and stuff. Thank you, Helen.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Should we try that again?
Oh no.
Okay, Helen's about to leave.
Oh no.
Bye, Helen.
Bye.
Oh no. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you.
Okay. I, of course, defended you, but seeing your behaviour now makes me doubt the wisdom of my actions.
He's an honest boy.
He would never do that.
Never. Oh, Gregor, open the door, please. They incline heads. No response. Move downwards. Downstage slowly and thoughtfully. What to do? Hands clapping back. Chief Clerk moves downstage. Even his authority has failed. Greta rushes to father, who pats her encouragingly as she starts to cry. Chief Clerk and mother look at Mr. Santa, who expresses helplessness. Do you have another key? Another key? I don't think so.
We never needed more than one key before.
Does he always lock himself in?
He never used to. It's a habit he got into through travelling in strange hotels. He said that you should always have the doors locked. Always lock the door at night. He's very prudent like that.
I intended to discuss this with him in private, but as he's wasting my time, I don't see why I should. For some time past, his work at the firm has not come up to scratch, Mr. Sampson, and this can't go on much longer. Gregor crying out a guttural voice, so this is like, kind of like literally, he's becoming an insect. So that's how weird it is. He's probably doing it. Like, a creature less than human. His words become less and less distinguishable to them. They all rush to the door.
Sir, I'm going to open the door this very minute. Slight illness, attack of giddiness, kept me in bed, getting up now. Just a moment longer, sudden attack. Be his right as rain soon. No foundations in your reports. No one said anything to me. Obviously you haven't looked at my last order. Spare my parents. I'll catch the 8 o'clock train. Don't let me detain you. Please make an excuse to the chief.
Good. Image of total family confusion. The figures twist and whirl around each other like a frenetic dance. The clerk rushing downstage, family's movements become faster and faster as confusion breaks loose. Did you make out a word of it? Is he trying to make fools of us?
Oh dear, perhaps he's terribly ill and we're tormenting him.
My son has never behaved like this.
No respect.
Greta?
Yes, mother?
Gregor is ill. Go for a doctor.
My son, open the door.
The man's mad.
Go quickly.
My son!
Did you hear how he was speaking?
It was almost inhuman.
And get a locksmith. Greta, quick as you can.
I'll boil a kettle.
Family frozen in anguish mixed with determination. Keep going, Gregor.
Why? In the same.
Yeah, you do well there. It needs to be like 1,000 times more, but it's good start.
Okay.
Okay.
Why were they so upset? A, because I wouldn't get up and let the chief clerk in. B, because I was in danger of losing my job. C, because the chief would start nagging my parents for money again.
Oh, we're missing a blooming page, guys. Have you got the page or not? No.
No.
So there's a whole page we're missing there. How annoying. Image, lights go out on stage except cage area. In dark, they return to the cage area. We hear the knocking from the vehicle's point of view, amplified like this. Loud, threatening. As stage lights come on, it suggests the door has opened. There is a moment of total stillness, such as a cat. We've done a bit now, thank you. Such as a can only can exist in a nightmare. More still than a painting, they reflect his movements as he descends.
Nearly there, and I'll pull down again.
Another loud click. Door opens, indicated by a strong light which comes up on his area. The family say,
Ah.
So it's a sigh of relief.
Oh.
They see him for the first time, stand back, gasp, slowly come down, lights come down and throw his beacon silhouette against the back cloth. The whole structure becomes an ugly beetle shape with long moving shadows. The family retreats slowly, their bodies reflecting the horror they have seen. All movements become slow until lights normalise. Gregor slides down his rostrum like jelly oozing into the room. So the actor playing Gregor now is like properly a beetle. Full beetle. He moves as one mass. Gregor says while speaking to the family, they move back into way in. She says,
I'll put my clothes on at once, pack my samples and be off. I want to work, you see. Travelling is a hard life, but I couldn't live without it. I'm in great difficulties, but I'll get out of them. Travellers are not popular, sir. People think they earn stacks of money and have a good time. You know that's not true. It's just because they're never seen in an office. They're always working. Don't let the chief's judgment be swayed against me, sir. Don't go away without a word to me to show that you think me in the right, at least to some extent.
Chief Clerk screams and exits, because obviously it's a beetle. The sound of Chief Clerk's scream brings family back to life.
Help, for God's sakes, help.
Shoo! Get back!
He
Get
motions
back!
with a stick.
Get back!
He continues hissing, raising the stick like a spear. Greg, don't, Father, you're confusing him.
Quiet! Stay with your mother. Go on, back you go.
Using the stick, drives Gregor back into the room.
Gregor was quite unpracticed in walking back wards Backwards, sorry.
So, okay. What? So this is good. So you know how he's suddenly saying, Charlotte,
Yeah.
how he's kind of now saying, Gregor was quite unpracticed. So that's kind of like, when he's like, hello, can I go? And then it's like, Gregor was quite unpracticed walking backwards.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, so he's like narrating that himself.
Yeah. Gregor was quite unpracticed in walking backwards, and he was afraid of annoying his father, even further by the slowness of such a rotation.
Mr. Santa takes a bamboo cane, symbolising his stick, 5 metres, and impales the insect on it. It catches Gregor in his soft belly, and he is tipped backwards into the cage. Gregor shrieks in pain, as if he had... So his dad has just... Yeah. Has just...
No, like,
Yeah, as in like penetrates his skin, whatever.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's just... His dad has just...
The
stabbed him.
beetle.
Because he's a beetle, but it's Gregor.
Yeah.
Is he like a massive beetle? Is he like
Well, what do you mean?
a
He's
human-sized
Are
beetle?
you talking about in real life? Because it's not
Yes.
real.
Yes. Well, actually, because he's
How,
like
is it like a
gigantic,
small beetle though, like the size of a beetle, or is it like a human-sized beetle?
human-sized beetle.
Again, the question I need to ask you to understand what you mean is, do you mean at what it should be like for us on
Yeah.
stage? Or,
Oh.
well,
Is
it's
it
an
like?
acting way.
Is it like?
It's
Yeah,
an actor.
so it can't be tiny.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
also, remember, it's not even not the realistic.
But then it kind of did say gigantic.
Yes, he's big. So I think he's going to be a big beetle.
So it won't be a little beetle. Because how would he be able to whack him perfectly with a cane?
He's a big. Okay, so he's a big beetle.
Big
And
beetle.
obviously on stage, he is the size of one of you guys, whoever plays Gregor. So
Oh yeah. Plus, how would he be able to open the door?
Mm.
Okay, the first thing here is not to overthink this. Think about it, but don't, it's not real. It's
His father, for his part, had no intention of ever making things easier by opening the door, but nevertheless wanted him out of his room as soon as possible.
gently, Father, don't hurt him. Gregor crawls into his room. They all breathe a sigh of relief and collapse into each other's arms. The backlight makes them tormented silhouettes, acting out Gregor's agony as the family together take on Gregor's shape. The family are now symbolising Gregor and enact the injuries inflicted on the beetle's body.
Oh God.
I think it's more like, oh God, 'cause they,
Oh God.
they move behind each other, arms stretched in supplication. At the same time, they, as a chorus, reflect Gregor.
Oh God.
Gregor, unseen, masked by family. Crushed by
Crushed my body, returning to my room. Flanks bruised. Blotches stain the floor.
Oh God.
Damaged my leg. Will it heal?
family again as creature.
Will it heal?
Don't let the neighbours see. Lock the doors. Draw the curtains.
Curtains drawn through the body and arms.
And I wounded my jaw when I opened the door. I know I damaged it because of brown fluid came out of my mouth.
The brown fluid came out of his mouth, dripped over the key.
Dripped over the key and on to the floor.
Dissolved drawer image, suddenly aware of Chief Clark's exit.
The chief clerk.
They move downstage to stools.
He must be soothed, detained, won over. The whole future of the family and Gregor depends on it.
He mustn't return to the warehouse at that frame of mind.
Follow him. He's partial to ladies and will be guided by you.
They are crouched behind their stalls as if watching him in the distance, the frantic eyes and outstretched hands following him.
He's already down the stairs.
He's in the street.
He takes one last look backward.
He's gone.
They fade out as Gregor speaks from cage.
I could just imagine the story of Chief Clark will tell my colleagues, how their ears will prick up, they'll draw lots to see who takes over my area. Isn't it curious how one plucks shreds of comfort even from disaster? The fact that I was so now the centre of attention gave me no small
Tinge.
tinge of pleasure.
Very good. Right, next scene. Pretty weird, isn't it? You think it's weird?
What?
Yeah. Good.
I didn't find it that weird, but then when it's all of a sudden it started saying like,
I do not find that way.
I just like,
Ringo, what's going on in your life? Don't find that weird.
I was just like, alright, it's a beetle. I found it, it started going a bit weird, of course, when he was like, of course, stabbed him, penetrated, yeah, and then of course the whole like mouth, like the drawing.
But up until that point, the whole bit of him turning into the beetle,
Yeah.
and the Chief Clark
Didn't really-
turning, and that was all fine.
wasn't
Okay.
really that
Great.
weird.
Right, ready?
It's like watching a film,
Yeah,
like
right,
a kid.
right,
It's
right.
like Spider-Man,
Okay.
something like that.
It's very different from Spider-Man.
Yeah, I know.
Next scene, evening. Pay attention. Guys, you start to really get into it, then it's good. Make sure you keep that energy up. Lights come up downstage, family in their last positions.
For a few moments that morning I thought I was dreaming, but the dream stayed.
What a quiet life our family has been leading, and as he sat there motionless, staring into the darkness, he felt great pride he'd been able to provide for his parents and sister in such a fine flat.
They'll think Gregor's deserted them. They'll worry. Life scratch.
But what's if all the quiet, the comfort, the contentment were in the end in horror?
If only we could have sat down quietly and worked out a solution. The chief clerk created the panic.
I must keep moving, crawl up and down my room.
Shh! Listen.
They both come into the father who is in the centre and form a protective triangle. Family security bound by fear. What?
You hear? He's moving about.
Move here to stool. They sit silently, hearing his scratching up and down the room. Take his stool upstage and sits.
He must have woken up.
Poor Gregor. He must be thirsty. He's had nothing to drink all day. I'll give him some milk. He likes milk in the evening.
Forgetting for a moment his insect state.
Oh no.
She starts weeping. Mother, that doesn't help. It doesn't help us to be upset. It'll only make him upset too if he hears you.
Yes, you're right. I must be strong. Must be strong. He'll be hungry too. What do you think he eats?
Mr. Sansa shakes his head in helplessness.
Well, we'll give him the milk.
She minds bowl of milk, hands it to father, who hands it to Greta. Greta moves a step upstage and freezes in her tracks.
Gregor?
Greta, unable to go further.
Father, don't let her go in there. Take it to him.
Oh, well...
It's all right. I'll do it. Just give me a minute more. Ringo, could you just get the door so we don't have to hear that banging, please?
You mean the window?
I mean the window. I call it a door. That's how I roll.
Why not?
Ah, yes. How can you sit there and let your daughter go in there?
You go in there then.
You go in there then.
You go in there then. You've been crying over him. He's your beloved son.
Our son.
Our son? You can't call him our son anymore. Not that thing in there. Our son's left us.
Don't say that. He's coming back to us. We can't desert him now. He's probably needing us more than ever. He's so alone. What can he be thinking in there? That we can find him disgusting. We mustn't show him that.
He mustn't feel that.
No, never.
Scratching noises. Listen, Mother, he's probably starving.
We'll go with you.
Calls gently through the door. Gregor! Scratching stops. Here's some milk for you. They've all walked upstage to watch Greta perform the action of opening the door and shoving the saucer in. A hard top light illuminates his room. This scene dissolves into his mind's eye. He leaves his cage, sliding down, and becomes normal. He is returned as Gregor, stimulated by the reminder of gentle and past reminders of milk.
I like milk in the morning. It's my favourite drink. Mother leaves it for me every morning at 4 a.m. to catch the 5 a.m. train daily.
Family wave goodbye.
So lots, lad.
Goodbye, Father.
Good luck, Gregor.
Goodbye, Greta.
Don't forget to drink your milk.
No, Mother.
Nice. What? Is that
Basin.
basin of fresh milk with little white sops of bread in it?
Gregor mines glass. It turns into a basin. He drinks it and spits it out in revulsion. His body changes back into the insect state. It's a stance reminded by bowl.
Why isn't he drinking it?
Come on, son. Drink it up.
Oh, Gregor, you know you like it.
It's your favourite drink.
He's probably ashamed to drink it with us listening to him. Let's go away. They tiptoe downstage and continue moving during next speech, which marks distance and time. Gregor has left the normal state that the Milk Association first drew him to and is back to the beetle state.
I don't like milk anymore. It's revolting to me. Bring me something more to my taste. You don't have to look at me, Greta. I'll hide under the bed. If I desperately need some food, I'm starving to death.
Gregor changes to face upstage, lights up. The following morning, the family are sitting at breakfast. They mime actions of eating breakfast.
Greta? Have you,
No, not yet.
Did he?
I don't know. I haven't looked.
Would you?
Greta senses that her mother wishes her to look. She moves to the cage door, sees him, and rushes back.
What is it?
He's under the bed.
Well, he had to be somewhere. He couldn't fly away, could he?
Did he drink it?
He's obviously doesn't like it anymore.
He's so unhappy. That's why he's not eating.
He spilled some milk, so obviously he must have tried it.
What do you suppose that he eats?
I don't know. I know. We'll put out some bits and pieces, and then we'll know by what he leaves what he likes best.
Oh, yes. That's the best thing to do.
Sorry. The family become united in their new idea. Hands shoot out, collecting, gathering, discovering old scraps. Some old carrots and greens, potatoes and cauliflowers. The gathering of goodies, each on his own stool, making things appear from the air.
This cheese is old. I don't suppose anyone would miss it.
Here's a stale loaf.
Yes.
A butter roll,
Yes.
Nuts.
Yes.
raisins.
Yes.
Apples.
Yes.
That should do.
What about the remains of last night's stew?
Oh, yes.
It's got some nice white sauce on it. He'll probably like that. Greta minds the action of gathering a huge pile that's been found. She carries the food carefully to the door. Everybody watches from the front area. She goes in, quickly turns and hurries back. Noise of scurrying and Gregor chewing bone. They are all listening to him.
Come, Greta, finish your breakfast. He seems to be enjoying his now. Come on, father.
They continue eating. The noise of Gregor gets louder as they stop eating.
Take no notice of him, father.
It's a bit difficult, isn't it?
Well, the only thing to do then is to make more noise than he does. Then you won't hear him.
She resumes her breakfast noisily, so they're now all like, because they can, eating weirdly. The others follow her example. The sound of eating from both rooms gets louder and louder, fade as noise dies down. Gregor in his cage.
Oh, I could weep with joy and satisfaction. God, I was starving. I like the cheese particularly, but I can't stand the smell of the fresher food. And my wounds healed. I must be less sensitive. A cut on my finger once took a whole month.
An hour later, the family is still sitting. The clock is ticking and rain is beating on the roof. Odd noises stand out in a heavy silence. An occasional bark of a dog is heard to remind one of the existence outside. Father starts a slow walk up and down between the women.
He's gone very quiet.
Yes,
Do you think there was enough?
I think so. He even ate the old bit of cheese.
Oh, good.
The rest he left in a pile.
Let's clean his room, Greta. Turn the key slowly. Set his signal to retreat.
He's under the bed again. His body's so swollen he can hardly breathe.
Never mind.
His eyes are bulging out of his head.
Clean his room. We'll put what he doesn't eat into a bucket.
Cleaning of Bribble's room, sweeping, the foul smell of the remains are put into a bucket. All this done on stools.
Quiet! I don't want to hear any more. Do you understand me? Do I make myself clear? No more!
Don't raise your voice at me in this house.
I'll raise my voice if I want to. It's my house. My house.
Is it? Gregor installed us here. As you retired yourself from work, we had to depend on him for money. We could never have afforded it if it was at... What?
We could never have
We could never have afforded it without him.
A terrible thing if your son supports his parents in their declining years. I've kept you all long enough.
Please don't, Father. Why are you angry? It doesn't solve anything.
I don't care if it solves anything or not. I can't. I can't sit at the table without hearing him scratching around.
Greta, in future, feed him before we get up.
Yes, Mother.
We wish to spare your father as much anxiety as possible.
You know how I look forward to...
Now he's going to slightly sheepish.
Oh, sorry.
The other bits were perfect.
Oh, thank
Now
you.
it's like, you know how I look forward to my breakfast.
You know how I look forward to my breakfast, eating the rolls all hot and crisp from the bakery, and the smell of an early morning newspaper and coffee smells I don't have much in my life to look forward to, but that's one of them.
Greta, won't feed him any more in your presence.
All right. Don't look at me as if I was some idiot you had to humour.
Don't you think instead of avoiding the subject we should discuss it?
Oh, Greta, how sensible.
I think that was Mrs. S.
Oh, Greta.
I think it was as well.
You see, if we bring it out into the open, it will not seem so terrible. And we can put our heads together and work out a solution.
Yes, if we could only do that.
They put their heads together like literally.
Greta took it on herself to take sole charge of me, as she was the only one who dared to come into the room and inform the family of my progress.
Loud ticking suggests passing several days to the next scene. Greta is seen leaving Gregor's room and entering downstage. The family is seated. Well, he ate all his dinner today. They freeze, reaction of joy.
Or,
Greta repeats same business, father and mother in different positions. Everything's been left standing again. Dog reaction.
or,
Same business, family in different positions. He's not eaten now for 2 days. Mrs. Santa groans, fade out on freeze of depression. Eating, silent mime.
I can hear you. You think I can't understand you, simply because you can't understand me. But I can. I can hear every sound you make, every moan.
There is one potato left. That's for father.
Mimes plate, which she pushes around the table. She very carefully mimes the edge of the plate between forefinger and thumb and pushes it away. The heads of the family move in rhythm to the plate, so we never lose it. Yes, go on, father. You have the last potato.
I've had quite sufficient, Mother. Here you are, Greta.
Slides it to her. I don't need any more food. I wish you'd eat it, Mother. She returns the potato to Mother, who refuses it and pushes it back to Greta.
I want no more of this silly nonsense.
Potato is pushed around faster and faster until eventually Greta misses it and it falls on the floor. Oh, I'm sorry, it was all my fault.
No, it wasn't. It's nobody's fault. Dear me, what to do about a potato? It won't go to waste. We'll save it for Gregor.
Father glares at her. She realises her blunder.
Look, Father, why don't you let Greta go out and get a beer for you?
Yes, let me get a beer, Father, like you used to like you used to have after supper.
No, thank you, Greta.
Come on, you know you like a beer after supper.
If there's not enough money for potatoes, there's not enough money for beer.
Loud moan from Gregor's room. So Gregor's obviously sad that, no one's provided for his family. Even though he's an insect, he's also sad that...
Yeah.
Good, keep going.
Did you hear that?
Perhaps he can understand what we're saying.
Of course not.
How do you know? How can you tell? Perhaps he listens to us.
Then maybe he should listen. Won't hurt him to know.
Father?
Well, maybe he should know what this
Disposition.
indisposition of his has caused us. And he'd appreciate what we're doing for him and how we're suffering on his account.
What about Gregor? I don't suppose you think he's suffering. Shut up in his room, not seeing... shut up. Oh, yeah. Shut up in his room, not seeing a soul, not knowing what's going to happen. You owe him a lot, don't forget that.
I do.
Yes, all of us. How he toiled
Toiled
day and night to be a commercial traveller, travelling up and down the country to all those awful places to take orders.
And the letters he wrote, those miserable letters from those cold hotel rooms.
We simply took it for granted. And how he longed to hear you play the violin again. Yes, always knowing that he would earn enough to support us, and so he wouldn't. And so often he wasn't even home to enjoy it.
Gregor, finding this all too much, gives a loud sigh, but they are all too occupied to notice.
Yes. He was becoming a very good salesman, that lad. He could have really achieved a high position in his firm and earned a royal salary.
And that secret plan to send you to the conservatorium to study.
They all stare ahead, lost in their thoughts. The lights fade. There is a sound of laughter and glasses. As the lights come up, we see Gregor as he was the Christmas before. The family are all merry. When Gregor steps into the path, strange lights illuminate the scene. They pose 3 times. There are flashes. We see each one as a series of photographs which come to life when Gregor speaks. Photos are awkwardness, happiness, summer, youth. Kneeling's family.
And now I would like to propose a small toast. First of all, to our dear mother for all the most wonderful Christmas dinners. To our dear father, and may he spend his last years comfortably smoking Havana cigars. And now... And now a toast to my talented sister and a little secret.
Oh, Gregor, do tell us, what is it?
I'm not really sure if I should yet.
Oh, Gregor, don't be a tease. Now you've gone so far, you must...
Well, I'm determined that one day our little one should play the violin in the grand orchestra, and despite great expense, I'm sending her to study at the conservatorium.
Absolute silence follows this announcement. Then they all speak together.
Oh.
I can't believe my lovely brother. All speak together.
Wait, what?
They all speak together.
Yeah, but we completely miss...
They all speak together. Ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
And then they all speak together. I can't believe it.
I'm so confused.
Oh, I get it.
And then they all speak together.
The
can't believe it.
consolation,
My
my
lovely
word,
brother.
soon we'll
I'm
be
so
seeing the
happy.
great
Oh,
Greta
I
Thunberg
get it.
playing at the concert hall and saying,
all
that's
speak
our
English.
very own
I couldn't make it
daughter.
clearer than that. They were speaking together. Okay, well done.
Oh, should we do that again? Oh no.
Yeah, do it again.
I'm sending her to the study at the conservatorium.
The
Oh,
conservatorium, my word, soon we'll be
Wonderful.
seeing the great Greta Thunberg playing at the concert hall and saying, that's our very own daughter.
They watch her playing at the concert. They eat chocolates, nervously passing the box, excited by Greta's playing, biting fingernails. We've only got a little bit to go, guys. And then they dance amidst laughter, cartwheels and somersaults. The music is by Puccini. Everybody gets up and hugs Gregor, violin music plays, and they all dance. Gradually, they dance further and further apart until the music slowly winds down. They are back in their previous position.
Dreams. He never did say, sorry. He never did say.
You wouldn't be laughing at this point. They just
No,
got,
that's
I'm
because I was
so
laughing at
confused.
myself.
okay.
Everyone, you were saying the same line as me, and then Jacob was just going off with like his own 4 lines. Because you said all together, so I thought you would say, "Oh, I can't believe it, my lovely brother, I'm so happy." But you said my line.
No, I didn't. I said that. Oh, maybe I did the last time.
Yeah.
The first time I definitely said it like that. So obviously that was a little flashback to Christmas, but now we're back in, because he had said, oh, I'm going to send him to the conservatorium because he could afford it. Now he's a Beatle, he obviously can't, and they haven't got money for potatoes.
Okay.
Guys, we've got another, I'm going to finish, it's just this page, okay?
Dreams.
As in the next bit as well.
Dreams. He never did send Greta to the conservatorium.
But he meant well.
Why didn't she go? Because you took the money? You took the money that was meant for Greta?
Okay. For the moment, let's just stop there, okay? We're not going to stop just yet properly.